Be sure to go to flipsidegaming.com and use promo code 6 for 10% off on orders over $10. Choose them at the Grizzly Gentlemen. They're both fantastic deals and help support the show. What is up, Planeswalkers? Theric 6 back with some more Magic the Gathering Arena. Today, we're hopping into the white-red, the Boros version of Death and Taxes. This version has a lot of just really nice cards that can help us to beat our opponents to death. Typically, like other Death and Taxes lists, we are aiming to disrupt our opponent's game plan while beating them down with some other things, hence the taxes and the death. We have some cool, spicy things. Hopefully, we get to see them in action. I hope all of you have so far noticed and appreciated my naming schemes for these Death and Taxes decks. Jim a pair. Jim a pair? Regardless, worst Chandra. We are going second, it appears. But we do have a nice turn 2, turn 3, and turn 4. And of course, depending on what our opponent is on, I have to assume it's red. Like, if my opponent is playing, like, blue land first, no respect. Alright. Gobbos. So depending on what they play on turn 2, I suppose, will determine whether or not I play Containment Priest. But Rampaging Ferocidon is also meant to help against goblins. Wily Goblin. Yeah, I'm just going to hold up Needleverge Pathway. What's nice is that this can just flash in. I guess I'll just play this. Pass. Come on, Castmoxes, do it. Come on, do it. Yes, yes. Feed me. Feed me. Boop. I mean, they have a 4/4. Like, don't get me wrong, they do have a 4/4. But they're relatively low on resources. And I can start Tectonic Gianting them. Cool. And I do think I want to play Tectonic Giant. It's going to cost me 3 life, I believe. I assume they're going to crack Mind Stone. Yep, that is fine. Come on, Muxus, hit me. Coward. I do need to be wary of my life total. But I think I'm going to... Well, first things first. Gotta type with Ferocidon. Then we are going to cast Tithe Taker. So we're going to take 2 total damage this turn. So far my opponent has... I do want to try and track my Ferocidon damage. I've lost 1, 2, 3 life from my Ferocidon. My opponent has lost none. I also need to note that I cannot gain life from my Alseid. Easy. This... I love the red version. Okay. So we don't want Relic Robber. We don't hate Grafdigger's Cage. We don't hate Embereth Shieldbreaker here either. Because come on. Really, game? You gonna do this? Alright. It doesn't exist. The card doesn't exist. That's fine. Wait, I can do this? And then I can see it up here, yeah. So it's either a 2/1 or I get to destroy one of their artifacts, which are relatively important to them. I do want the Inspiring Cleric. It is a non-bow with Ferocidon, but I still think I want it. And I actually don't really want Tectonic Giant all that much. I do want the Phoenix, because Phoenix can block Muxus relatively easily. Thalias aren't actually great against goblins. Wait, is that happening? The fire is happening on all of my things with even this. That's hilarious. Okay, maybe I want this as well. Okay, let's see. Sin Prodder. I don't think Archon is great necessarily. Let's see. I cut one Thalia. First strike whenever a creature dies. This can help me kill my opponent. I actually think I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't need it. I definitely don't need it. I think that's fine. I'm not sure. Definitely not sure. Don't mind if I do. You got a Containment Priest and a Bonecrusher Giant. We'd love to see it. We also got a Cleric and a Sin Prodder. We need one land and we're Gucci. So the first hit is probably going to be Bonecrusher Giant. We don't need to play Containment Priest until, like, we want to essentially always catch them with Muxus. Mind Stone. I would love... Oh my gosh! Ask and ye shall receive. Blow that up. I didn't realize that cost one. Herald Horn. I guess I would prefer to destroy that. So that is awkward. I mean, I can cage. So I can cage and hold up Priest. Or I can get Sin Prodder down. Can they cast Muxus? Cost one less. They play a land. Let's say they play a mountain, they play a goblin. They sack that goblin. They have 4 mana, 5. They should not be able to play Muxus next turn. So I'm going to start getting Sin Prodder going. It'll give me potential card advantage, but it'll also just hurt my opponent. Okay, they didn't get anything off of it, that's nice. But that doesn't mean it's probably a land, I would assume. Or I guess another artifact. I braid my Sin Prodder, that's fine. Skirk Prospector, also fine. Would like a land. I'd like another Shieldbreaker, to be honest. They whiffed again, that's quite nice. I will be killing that. Cycle? Do they have Cycle Goblin in hand? Nope. They sacked it to deny me the Bonecrusher Giant, which is the correct thing to do. This comes untapped, which is unfortunate. The thing is, they could abrade me end of turn and Muxus, so I am going to just cast Alseid here. Remember, this still has Flash, so I'm fine with that. And we just pass. I would like to get my Rekindling Phoenix down as fast as possible. They whiffed again. Oh, I love it. The issue with these Goblin decks now is the fact that... oof. That is a little scary. Smart by my opponent. I can block. I'll take the 2. But yeah, the issue is that they're running a lot fewer goblins necessarily. Just like it's not as much of a cluster. especially post side. Okay. I do think the correct answer, well... If a non-token creature would enter the battlefield and was to cast exile instead. If your upkeep cycle this creature in return. Alright, so this would... That is a non-bow. So instead I think I'm going to... Well, that's if this dies, and I don't expect it's going to die. I have 2 protections against Muxus. Yeah, I want to get my Rekindling Phoenix down as soon as possible. So that I can start hitting in the air. It is a decent blocker here, potentially, but... Man, another whiff. So I know this isn't a creature. Yeah, I know it's not Cycle Goblin. Could be a Shatter Skull. Pass? Or, no. What the heck is this typeface, dude? It's a Sharon.
You and I are gonna take him out. Yup, you're going down.
Sharon has to die. Can't cast that even if they could. Maybe get exiled. I assume they don't attack me at all. I'm going to kill the Sharon.
This was a waste of my time.
And here I think I'm just going to be mana efficient. Do this. Krenko's the main thing I'm worried about now. And they whiffed again. Which is, I mean, it's great for me, don't get me wrong. Do I even just, like, attack with these? I attack with my Phoenix all the time. I probably attack with this all the time. I mean, I just want to kill my opponent as fast as possible. Yeah. That's a surprise. And that's a surprise because their best card is Krenko. And Krenko is worse for each goblin they don't have. Well, that got replaced. Castle Embereth. I don't really care. Feel free to attempt to race me. You definitely lose the race. From this position, at least. I'm so glad that I'm able to just consume the goblins right now. Attack. It's guaranteed 4, so we put them down to what, 7? They would have to get Muxus. No, okay, I still think it's worth keeping my Containment Priest up because there is a world in which they grab, like if I attack with Containment Priest, they block with Skirk Prospector. There is a world in which I, oh, that's actually great for me. Because now their other goblins aren't going to have haste. But there's a world where they top deck an Abrade. Like they kill my Containment Priest via blocking. They have an Abrade for my cage for their normal draw, and then this draws like Muxus. That could not have been more smooth. I guess we drew a few too many lands. We might be rocking 24. I'm fine with it. I mean, you'll love to see it. You just love to see it. As we're waiting for our next game, I'll go ahead and like, subscribe. All that good stuff really does help out the show. I'm giving a bit of a mid-message. Although, I assume there's actually going to be an ad around this location. Just because it's almost 15 minutes in, and we are in a lull. Fern is MTG. Go first. Pretty land heavy, but we do have a Sin Prodder, which can potentially help us out really nicely. We're gonna potentially fake him out. Thoughtseize? Thoughtseize is bad. They're Thoughtseizing. Oh, they killed my Alseid. Well, there's more where that came from. We're still faking them out. They still don't technically know what we are. They've seen 2 Alseids, which are played in other decks. Oh, can I get the Sin Prodder to, like, resolve? Fatal Push. Yeah, I'm just gonna get the Sin Prodder down. Hopefully it survives, and I can start getting value out of it. I don't know how well the deck does against blue-black. We saw in the white-black taxes video that we do pretty horribly against blue-black control. Phyrexian Tower. Okay, that makes me think this is not normal blue-black control. You choose one of those cards, the player discards that card. Do I need this land? I don't think I do. Oh, would you like to take 3? Would you like to give me another Sin Prodder? Because I absolutely will play it. Coward. Ooh. Don't mind if I do. Disallow. Interesting. Okay, we have him at 12 already. That's quite good. 4 mana. This is some weird version of Rogues. Are they going to Xerath's on me? They're Xerath's stunning me. Am I going to take my Sin Prodder? Incredibly rude, sir. Or madam. You don't control the exile card. The exile card's owner. If they kill my apparition, I get the creature. This is why I love Death and Taxes, man. It's great. Do it. Kill it. Oh, you fool! You fool! It's mine! It's the owner, baby! Good. Attack me, coward. Oh, right, they can Skyclave Apparition. Oh, wait, I can block. Yes. Yes. Mwahaha. Yo. I love Death and Taxes so much. I love it so much, dude. Gosh, okay, I saw acquisitions expert. So I mean, this is just like Dimir, like control rogues. I don't think this is your typical roguey deck. Grafdigger's Cage, does that help against Xerath's? Player put creature cards. So it will help them from not hitting my things. I don't know if I actually am gonna want it. Actually, I think here I want Rest in Peace. What the just happened? Don't I have 2? I only have 1 Rest in Peace. That's stupid. Okay. I think we're going more death here and less taxes. I still like Thalia. That's still fine. I don't think I need this. Skyclave, still probably fine. I don't have room for all of these cool tax cards. You know what? Screw it. I don't need a Rest in Peace. No, it's rogues. I probably still need Rest in Peace. Fine. I don't need this Spiteful Prankster. Oh, I am only rocking 23. Yeah, the idea with a robber is that we force them to have things that just hurt them every turn. Technically, it's more for like blue-white control, but who knows? Yeah, I like this. Turn 1, turn 2. Something on turn 3. If, of course, we get a land, but we should. Thoughtseize in my future? Yep, Thoughtseize. I assume they're going to take Thalia. What are you dropping? Thalia? Yep. Almost always the correct choice. So we don't have a 2-drop anymore. Would love to get a 2-drop. Specifically a Bonecrusher Giant would be nice. Gonna kill my Alseid? That would be very rude of you. Yeah, they're just gonna kill it. I'm fine with that. Oh my goodness, asking you receive every time. I do, like, need a land. I also would like them to cast something that I can kill. Will I burn them? Will I just burn them in the face if they don't cast something I can kill? I think so. Yeah, I think I would. Target opponent discards 2 cards. Did not get a land. And we're boned. Arset. I didn't expect that. Definitely didn't expect that. I assume they get rid of Sin Prodder. Alright, that's fair. Am I going to play Sin Prodder first or Bonecrusher Giant? I'm going to play Sin Prodder. Bonecrusher Giant currently can't be discarded, so it's a little harder for them to get it out. Like, if they just played another Inscription, if I played this, then it'd be pretty bad. Notably, this does not draw me a card. It just puts it into my hand. That's fine. Especially if they want to use their turn to do it. Yeah, if they want to use their turn to kill my Sin Prodder, I think I'm fine with that, especially if I draw a land. Roughly a 41% chance of doing so. Which is actually not great. Ritual of Soot is interesting. This is, no, just player. Notably, these tokens can't block. So it's kind of like having a miniature Chandra emblem. That's kind of what I see it as. They can't block, they can't attack, and they can be sacked, unfortunately. So, only 3 cards, 2 of which I don't know. Yep, they're gonna kill. And they do it with Fatal Push. Makes sense, I suppose. Do you have anything else? Gonna cast Embereth now. That's fine. Can I draw land? They're at 8. Like, that's not bad for us. Well, I did, but unfortunately not the right one. What's nice though is if they want to kill this, they're gonna have to hurt themselves if they target it at least. This Narset doesn't really matter. Death and Tax is not known for drawing cards. They do have access to 5 mana. I guess Ashiok is something I'm slightly worried about. So this is absolutely not the rogues list I thought it was. And do they take the 2 damage? It looks like they do. I'm fine with that. Next turn I can play Rekindling Phoenix, which, unless they have an exile removal on, is pretty decent for me. Especially since they get tapped down in order to kill my thing. So far I'm not seeing exile removal. I don't think I saw Vraska's Contempt last round. No, I didn't see Vraska's Contempt, so theoretically this is fine. We have a nice flash card here that we can surprise them with. They have 2 cards in hand. Let's see what they can do. This might have passed my white-blue version for Death and Taxes deck I like the most. Ooh, that's risky. No, they lose now, right? Yeah, dang. That's pretty hype, bruh. Do I have time for another game? I don't. I really don't. I have one more to record. And then I have to start uploading all of these, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. It's 16 videos I have to upload in 5-ish hours. But we do at least have that that nice deck talk. I love it. This deck is fantastic. So, as usual, I'm not going to talk about the white cards unless they have some special interaction with the red cards that I've added. So we're just going to kind of go through it. As you saw, Death and Taxes is a disruptive kind of creature control deck that wants to make it so your opponents can't do the things they want while you do the things you want and kill them in the face. We have 2 Containment Priests, which are helpful against goblins, as you saw. It does have a slight non-bow with the fact that I can't get back my Rekindling Phoenix, and I think that's kind of it. Yeah, I can't get back on my Rekindling Phoenix, but there's only 2 and 2. It shouldn't happen all that often. Robber of the Rich is actually a fantastic card here, because 1, it has haste, so we're able to put the death in real fast, and it has reach, so we have a nice blocker against flying. But what's great here is the fact that we get to potentially use some cards of our opponents against them, which is just beautiful. It's nice and poetic. We've got 3 Bonecrusher Giants. One of the things that Death and Taxes has issues with right now is some versions of removal. Bonecrusher Giant and Skyclave Apparition are like the removal decks, the removal cards here, and Skyclave Apparition, for what it's worth, is able to hit a larger array of things. Bonecrusher Giant has the versatility of hitting face, and you get to do it at instant speed on your opponent's turn, and then you have a creature to go with it that you don't care if it dies. And even if they get targeted, you get benefit out of it. Rampaging Ferocidon. I only have 2 of these. I thought I had 3. It's possible I want to get rid of one of these to put another of these in the side, but essentially the point of this card is, hey, kill your opponents. If they have lifelink, who cares? You might lose some life. Doesn't matter all that much. And then, you know, if your opponent wants to make a bunch of tokens, or if they want to put a bunch of... I mean, essentially it's just make a bunch of tokens, right? If your opponent wants to try and kill you with Muxus and Krenko, they're going to have a harder time because they're likely going to die because you've dealt a little bit of damage to them, and then bada boom, bada boom, they're going to have a bad time. And this was a menace. You just get to hit people. It's great. Another card with menace is Sin Prodder. I love this card so much. It has fantastic art, first of all. Second of all, it's a 3/2 with menace, off the cut. That's reasonable. And it has a dark confidant style effect, except instead of you taking the damage and getting the card, your opponents get to choose. Do I take the damage, or do I give them a card? Even if, because we have more reach in this deck, we have more things with haste, we have more things that deal direct damage, we're okay with this kind of effect, even if they just end up taking, 2 or 3 damage over the course of the game. I just love this card. Rekindling Phoenix, it's hard to kill. That's the main thing. It's an annoying card to deal with, and it helps us to just destroy our opponents. Tectonic Giant is kind of similar. 4 mana for a 3/4. Isn't as, technically you like the 4/3 body a little bit more, especially since it's recursive. But whenever this attacks or becomes the target of a spell an opponent controls, you can either have Tectonic Giant deal 3 damage to each opponent, which essentially is just your opponent, but it doesn't target, which is great. I mean, it can't be countered by any nonsense abilities like giving yourself hexproof. Or you can exile the top 2 cards of your library, choose one of them until the end of your next turn. You may play that card. So if your opponent targets this on their turn and you decide to exile the top 2, until your next turn, you can play that card. It's great until the end of your next turn. It's a fantastic card. And then, of course, in the sideboard, we have kind of the normal affair. Embereth Shieldbreaker is great, as you saw in the Goblins matchup. It allows you to destroy an artifact. Technically speaking, it does mean that we are a little bit weak to enchantments. I think they say soft to enchantments, but I'm not too weird about it in this metagame right now. There are obviously the Auras decks, but my hope is that I get to just kill them. Inspiring Cleric gains me some life. Relic Robber, you kind of got to see what it did, but unfortunately our opponent did run main deck Tower. Essentially, you don't bring this in against goblins ever, because this is a goblin. It gives them a goblin token. But if you're going against an opponent who doesn't necessarily have ways of dealing with their own creatures, some types of mid-range, control, even if they board wipe, right, you're still getting some value out of this. It acts as like miniature Chandra emblems and just slowly hurts them. And it's great, especially considering this has haste, right? So your opponent board wiped, like they did, you hit them, and then they have this, and they have to deal with multiple things. It's just quite nice. Spiteful Prankster essentially is for the Rakdos sack decks. Whenever another creature dies, Spiteful Prankster deals 1 damage to target player or planeswalker. Essentially, this is just meant to mitigate the healing from Black Cat and Call it familiar, whatever. When you pair this with Rampaging Ferocidon, then it becomes a liability that they can't actually do. And then, of course, Linvala is just anything against, you bring it in against any deck that utilizes creatures with activated abilities. So, if I had to go with my Death and Taxes enjoyment rating, I think now it's red-white, then white-blue, and then white-black and mono-white are kind of tied. I, of course, would like to thank my lovely patrons, especially Fogwind, Malik, and Battleterror, for the continued support. If you'd like to join them and support the show, you'll find links in the description below. I do, of course, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, all of that great stuff. And, of course, until next time, all will be one.